Hi, greetings from LJ Business School. LJ Center for Professional Studies is an authorized education provider of FPSB India, Financial Planning Standards Board India, for CFP certification. As you may know, CFP certification is one of the most prestigious financial planning qualification respected by the global financial community. My name is Nipin. Let me take you into a sum. These kind of sums you might have come across while preparing for your advanced financial planning case studies, maybe as a part of a bigger sum. The situation in front of us is Mr. Vicky, who has identified a house which he can buy for rupees 25 lakhs, and there is a bank which is ready to give him a loan at 12% per annum, monthly reducing balance basis, and repayable over a 10-year period. So the question is what rental income he should expect in the first year from new house to completely offset his interest on housing loan. Let's try to understand this sum. What is the plan of Mr. Vicky? He want to buy a new house which is worth 25 lakhs, and of course he need to start repay his loan by the end of the first month, and the loan repayment includes the EMIs includes two components. One is the interest component and second is the principal component. The interest component is the cost of the money which Mr. Vicky has borrowed. So the plan of Vicky is that whatever is the cost which he is repaying to the bank in the first year, that means whatever is the interest component in his EMIs in the first year, he should be able to recover it from the rentals which he is going to get. So at least what should be the rental amount so that he can set it off against the cost which he pays back to the bank. So this is the sum in front of us. Let's use a spreadsheet to do the sum. The spreadsheet which we are using here is OpenOffice because the students are allowed to use OpenOffice for their examination. So let's put the numbers here. The loan amount is 25 lakhs. Interest per month, we know the per annum interest is 12%, so the per month interest is 12% divided by 12, and N per number of periods, it is 10 years. To convert it into months, it is 10 into 12. Why we are converting all these into months? Because the EMIs or the repayments are in monthly forms. And now we are going to calculate the EMI amount. We will use the function called as PMT. This function, how to use this function, we are learning it in Introduction to Financial Planning. So I'm not trying to explain the function again. PMT, and the rate is 1%. Period is 120. Loan amount is 25 lakhs. I put a minus in front of that to avoid getting a negative answer, right? And the EMI which Mr. Vicky has to repay every month to the bank is 35868. Now we'll have to apply a logic here. What is the logic? Let me type it here. Principal outstanding after 1 year is equal to present value of outstanding EMIs after 1 year. What does this mean? This means that we are going to calculate, or we need to calculate, what is the principal outstanding after the first year of loan. So if you want to see that as a timeline, we can draw it in this way. So this is this period is a 10-year period. This period is a 10-year period. Okay. And this is after 1 year. So what we said while explaining that logic is that whatever is the payment which is coming in this period, okay, if we take the present value of all those payments to this date, okay, if we take the present value of all those payments to this date, which is this date? This date is the period after 1 year. That value will be the outstanding principal. So the value at this place will be the outstanding principal after 1 year. What is the outstanding principal today? The outstanding principal today is nothing but the loan amount, 25 lakhs. What is the outstanding principal at this point of time? The outstanding principal at this point of time is the present value of all the payments which is happening from this point till the last point, right? Why do we apply this logic? Because we know what is the EMI amount. So we know what is the EMI which he is paying every month. So it is easy for us to find out the present value of that EMI by discounting to 9 years, right? So we are going to do that now. Principal outstanding after 1 year is nothing but the present value of EMIs after 1 year. So let's use the PV function. This function also we have learned in the financial mathematics initial classes. Rate is 1%, monthly rate is 1%. And N per here is not 120 because we are trying to find out the present value after the first year. So after the first 12 months. So N per is going to be 120 minus 12. And the PMD is nothing but the loan EMI which we have calculated in this step. And this is the principal outstanding after 1 year. And today, I mean prior to the 10-year period, what is the principal outstanding? That is nothing but the loan amount. So from this we can assume that the principal repaid in first year, principal repaid in first year is equal to the loan amount minus the principal outstanding after the first year. So this is the principal repaid in the first year. Now how many EMIs we would have paid in the first year, or Mr. Vicky would have paid in the first year? Vicky would have paid 12 EMIs, no? So EMIs paid in first year is equal to this into 12. If this is the total amount Vicky has paid back to the bank, and out of this total amount, this 137830 is the principal component. Now we know what is the interest component. I am repeating. If this is the total, 430413 is the total amount paid by Mr. Vicky to the bank, and out of that total amount, 137830 is the principal amount, then we know what is the interest paid. Interest paid in first year is equal to the total amount paid minus the principal repayment in the first year. So 292583 is the answer. So at least Vicky should get this amount as rental so that he can repay the cost of loan which he is incurring in the first year, right? This is one way of doing it. I can also show you another way of doing the same sum, probably a little more simpler way. Why we are doing it that way also? Because we know that while writing your advanced financial planning examination, even 1 minute is important. So if this OpenOffice is allowing you to do the sum in much more simpler way, why should we let's utilize that facility. So the same thing which we have calculated here, some data we require in the new calculation also. So let me copy that and paste it here. Let me cross check it. Yeah, 25 lakhs, 1%, N per is 120, and EMI is 35868. Right? Now in the second way of doing it, we can find out the interest paid in year 1 in one single step. See, in the previous calculation, we did a lot of steps to reach at this figure, right? In the second way of doing it, we can actually do it in one single step by using cumulative interest payment function. Which function is that? CUMIPMT function, right? Okay, so let me take that function from the functions wizard. Let's change this to financial, which makes it easy to find out the function. Yeah, here is it, CUMIPMT. Next, and what is the rate? Let's click the rate from here. Okay, here we can enter the rate, and here we can enter the NPER. PV is 25 lakhs. Unlike other functions, we should not use a negative symbol inside this function. So I'm not using a negative function. Let me select it. And from which period to which period you want to find out the interest? From the first month to the last, to the 12th month, no, in the first year. So the start period, S denotes the start period. So 1, and E denotes the end period, 12. And since the loan repayment starts after the first period, that is after 1 month, the type is 0. These the usage of these things we have learned in the introduction to financial planning classes, right? Now let me click OK. Here is the answer, 292583. 292583. So to avoid getting this negative sign here, let's put a minus here. Alright. So there is an easy way to do this kind of sum. Of course, this logic is also very important, right? But while writing the advanced financial planning examination, this way of doing it makes the calculation simple, and also you can save a lot of time. To get more details about CFP certification from the following links, you can visit these following links. The first is website address of LJBS, and second is the link to the FAQs in FPSB's website. You can call us and know about our live classes. You can attend our classes from your home. You need not have to travel to the center. We are conducting live virtual classes. In fact, those virtual classes are really simple to attend those kind of classes. Those are live classes. Those are not recorded videos. You can call the numbers given here, or you can write a mail to us. You can write a mail to info@ljbs to know more about our classes. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching our video. See you. Bye.